What is going on, all you card collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the 40-year-old collector, and I am pumped to be back. We took a little bit of a week-long hiatus there to spend time with friends and family and to celebrate the holiday season. I hope you all had an awesome holiday yourself. So we are here. We're going to be looking at PSA-graded NFL Hall of Fame rookie players from the 1960s. I can't believe we've already been through the 40s and 30s. We've already been through the 50s. Now we are into the 60s. This is some awesome cardboard. There's some awesome slabs. Great era. Really excited to be bringing this to you guys. Hey, this is going to be dropping tonight. It's the 30th. As a final reminder, we are doing Cardboard Against Cancer this month. So for every new subscriber, we're going to donate $2 to our local children's cancer charity. We're almost there. We've got a big check we're getting ready to cut. So anybody who's been on the fence, we'd love to have you join before the end of the year. So we, donate a couple extra bucks. But I hope you love the content. We got a lot of cool stuff to look at. So let's get after it right now. All right, everybody, cardboard time. We are sticking with the Christmas theme background because if it was up to me, I would leave my Christmas lights on all year long because I hate heights and I have a very tall roof, but my wife and my homeowners association won't allow me to do that. So with enough of that, let's talk about the card. So can't believe we're already into the 1960s. This is a 1960 Topps Forrest Gregg. As I have shared, my wife's family is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We are cheeseheads. We love the Packers, so I always love all the cards. From this era specifically, I think this was when the Packers were, they were just something special. Definitely a dynasty, definitely, a team for the ages, and just a great culture and great people. So this is Forrest Gregg, 1960 Topps PSA 8. So this is a pop 194. There's only 25 higher. There's 0 10s out there. So, if you're looking to upgrade, a 9 is about as good as you can get. This is a beautiful card, good surface. The centering's not bad for this era. It's just a blazer. I have no illusions of upgrading. I will tell you right now, the last couple of these sold for $130 on eBay. So if you are in the market for a Forrest Gregg PSA 8, which is just about as high as you're going to find, they are going on fire sale right now. I would pay $130 for this all day. Find one with good centering, good eye appeal, and go after it. The only 9 sale that I could find was for over $2,000. So, man, I would pick up an 8 if I needed it for $130 all day long. Next card, I am telling you, I love this card, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a little cartoonish. I don't know if it's because it's the blue and the green. Or I don't know if because this is one of the strongest 8s that I have in my collection. I was looking at this prior to shooting this video. I have no earthly idea why this isn't a 9. The centering is solid. I mean, it is as good a centering as you're going to find. The corners are sharp. Honest to God, I kid you not, I have 10s that have worse corners than this. I don't know, this might be a crack and resub further down the road, but this is a 1960 Fleer Ron Mix, PSA 8, only a pop 112, only a pop 27 higher, 3 10s out there, so if this was a crack and resub and it came back a 9, that would be a big money card. So this is beautiful. I love it. I'm not sure if I have the stones to crack and resub. We'll see. The last couple of these PSA 8 sold for $200, which is pretty approachable considering the low population higher. I did find a sale for a PSA 9, and that was for $650. And even that, I think a PSA 9 for $650 is highway robbery, considering the Forrest Gregg we just looked at had the same population report and it sold for $2,000. So I think whoever picked that up for $650 got a great card at a great price. So Ron Mix, love this. In future videos, maybe we crack and resub. I don't know. Next one, I absolutely love this guy as well, Mr. Don Maynard. Man, when him and Johnny U got hooked up, it was just a dynamic duo, and they did big things in the league. So this is an example of when I was younger. I was looking at PSA 8s, and I just decided to pull the trigger and get a 7. Surely wish that I would have held off and gotten the 8. The 7 isn't a bad card. There's good centering here, good eye appeal, the colors, the surface, everything's awesome. You can definitely tell why it's a 7. I got some light corner wear here that you just don't see like on those last 2 8s that I talked about. Pretty high population here and a super high population in what we consider really high grades. So this 7 is a pop 136. There's 240 higher out there. There's 51 PSA 9s, 12 PSA 10s. So like I said, lots and lots of cards in super high grades. The last couple 7s sold for $120, which is really solid, and 8s are going for $175. So I might see if I can get if I get $120 for this, and then I can turn around and buy a better eye appeal 8 for $175. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense not to do that, since I know this isn't my forever card. So if I do that, I will do a video. I'll let you guys know how that turns out, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. But I do love this card. I do love this player. I think it's just a really, really cool piece of cardboard. Going from a really cool piece of cardboard to a piece of cardboard that I'm not in love with. Has nothing to do with the player. Obviously, as I explained, has nothing to do with the team. But even from this distance, you guys can see those yellow print dots right there. You know, it looks like somebody took some bleach and just kind of splattered it. I am all about buying the card, not the slab. And this PSA 7, it's one of the lower end PSA 7s that I have. The centering's off, those yellow marks. So I will look to either switch this out for a better high grade or a better eye appeal PSA 7 or, you know, upgrade to an 8. Yeah, I will tell you this, there's 111 cards in this PSA 7 slab. There's only 90 higher. There's 0 10s and 8 9s. So, you know, we've got 82 PSA 8s out there, no 10s. You know, and we'll see what happens with this. The last couple of these in PSA 7 sold for $160, and 8s are going for $400. So there is a big gap between 7s and 8s, unlike the Maynard that we just looked at. So, you know, I'll have to be strategic if and when I decide to upgrade. But, you know, nothing wrong with this guy, nothing wrong with this card. It's just not for me, just not my long-term hold. So we will go from there. This next set in general, man, I love this set. I love this 63 top set. I love the colors on the borders. I just think it is a really, really cool set. Incredibly hard to find in high grade because of these borders. The borders vary based on the team. Larry Wilson with the St. Louis Cardinals right here. This poor guy drew blue and yellow. I think those are probably the hardest color combinations out there. These corners down here, super sharp. You don't see any signs of white. These corners up here are sharp, but you can see the white. This is a PSA 8. It's a Pop 166, only 14 higher. 110, so there's only 13 9s in the world. That's what we're talking about when we say, hey, it's super hard to get these colored borders in high grades. You know, these 8s are going for about $200, and rarely does this happen, but I could not find any 9 comps out there to share with you guys. So, you know, that's a good thing, though. I think this 8 will only increase in value over time because, you know, 99.999% of us, this is about as high as we'll be able to afford, you know, safely. So, anyway, super cool card. Love that. I got another one coming back with another one from my favorite team, with another one from one of my favorite years. More 1963 tops. Willie Wood right here. Love this card. This card has really, really sharp. You don't see that white that you saw with the Larry Woods. Even though it's a PSA 7, I would say this one is arguably as good as the other one. The only issue is this left to right centering. I feel like that's what kept it from an 8 slab. But the corners are as good or better than that Larry Wilson we just looked at. You know, this 7 has a population of 197. There's 174 hires out there. I was surprised, you know, there's 2 10s. It takes a lot to get a 10 in this set. So there's 2 10s floating around out there, 17 9s. So lots of 8s out there. This 7 is fetching $140. 8s are going for about $300. So, you know, if I could find a more centered, better eye appeal PSA 8, it might be worth me pulling the trigger. I would always buy it first and then sell this after and, you know, see what kind of money I can recoup. But love this card, love this player. Obviously love that team. Next up, good old, the man who ran LA, good old Mr. Merlin Olsen. I love this card. You know, I love it. He's also got a mean look on his face here. I just think that's very apt for an offensive tackle of the era. So PSA 8, lots and lots and lots of these PSA 8s out there. This was a very popular player back in the day. So 321 PSA 8s, 107 higher, only 6 10s. So you're looking at 100 PSA 9s out there. You know, these 8s, even though the population's pretty high, they're going for $110, so not a bad snag. 9s are going for about 600. So again, I think that's an approachable 9. I think this guy's always gonna have a good following. So I like this card. I have no reason to upgrade. It's got good eye appeal. It's got pretty good centering. You know, I'm happy with this slab, so I'm not going to upgrade. But for those of you who are out there in the market, I think getting a good centered, good eye appeal PSA 8 for $110 is an absolute steal. I would do that all day long. Here's a 1964 Philadelphia card. Man, I love these Philadelphia sets. I just think it's cool because, you know, it breaks up the monotony of Topps and Fleer and Bowman. And here comes Philadelphia in the mid-60s to change the game up a little bit. And the cards are really pretty. You know, they did a great job with these sets back then. So, you know, Herb Adderley, you see a recurring trend of these 60s. Lots of Green Bay Packer players in these 1960s Hall of Fame slabs. So, you know, this is Pop 229. There's 72 higher. There's 4 PSA 10s out there. Again, you know, you see these white borders really help with that high grade population. So, you know, the last 3 auctions in a PSA 8, I'm going to tell you right now, were really low. These PSA 8s, there was a low auction closing of $64 and a high of $101. So you can pick this card up right now. These are actual auction realized prices between $64 and $100. I think there is I think if you're in the market for this, now's the time to buy. I probably paid about $50 for this card 10 years ago. So I think that it's not going to go any lower. I think there's nothing but upside if you're paying in the $60, $70, $80 range for this PSA 8 right now. And 9s are going to set you back about $400. So I think an 8 in that range is awesome. This card, I have no reason to look at a 9. Love the centering, love the eye appeal, love the color. I just think it's a great card in general. These next two cards, and I can't tell you why. I don't know what it is about these cards, but I absolutely love them. They hold a special place in my heart. I remember the day I bought them. I remember where I was when I bought them. And they're just really cool. I don't know if it's the facial expression. Like, look at the facial expression on him. I can't tell if he's, I can't tell what he's doing. I don't know if he's excited. I don't know if he's angry. I don't know if he's having a bowel movement. But, Mr. Buck Buchanan right here, he's got all kinds of stuff going on. I love the fact that these are PSA 8s. For whatever reason, even though they're the white border, it just must have been a tough print run year because the higher populations, they are really, really, really hard to find. So this is a pop 143 in this PSA 8. There is only 28 higher and 2 10s out there. So there's only 26 9s, 2 10s. An 8's going to run you about $200. Another one where I could not find a comp to share with you guys in a higher grade. I could not find a comp on a 9. I have no desire to upgrade this. I think this is a beautiful card. As I said, one of the cards in my collection where I just remember buying it, and I will remember it forever. So, very next one, same era. I used to think they were the same people. They have the same silly grin on their faces. I absolutely love it. Mr. Bobby Bell, another one, just a blazer. So this is a pop 141 in PSA 8, 19 higher, 3 10s out there. This one is going to run you about $300 in an 8. I found one sale for a 9, and that was $1,400. But, with these low populations, the previous card was a pop 28 higher. This is a pop 19 higher. I think $300 for this and $200 for the last one are steals considering the low population in an 8, the low population higher. I'd pull the trigger on those in a heartbeat if I needed them. Just great cards. Great cards, great players. I just think they're super cool for whatever reason. I've shared this in some of my other reveals. There were times when I was collecting where I just kind of lost my way. I lost my focus, and I just wanted to complete a hole in a set. This is an example of that. This is a 1964 Jim Johnson PSA 6. I will tell you this. For a 6, this is a beautiful card. I mean, look at that. The corners are solid. The centering is solid. I think there's a little bit of chipping down here. I certainly have 7s that look better. I certainly have 7s that look worse. That's just because, PSA, it's subjective. It's a human doing it. But so, I have a 6. I will upgrade at some point. This is a PSA 6, pop 29, 208 higher. There is 115 8s out there, so I got plenty of 8s to choose from. 35 9s, 2 10s. The last one of this, believe it or not, the last PSA 6 sold for $100 on eBay. 8s are going right around $250-ish. So, if I can find a great 8 for $250, and if I can turn around and sell this for $100, I think a 2 grade upgrade, better eye appeal, better looking card for $150. I think that is I'd be foolish not to do that. And the very last one of this 1964 lot, we have one more coming after it. Another shocker, surprise, surprise, another Green Bay Packer. They are all over the place, Mr. Willie Davis. This is a PSA 7 right here. Again, these Philadelphia cards, they're a little bit basic, but they're super pretty. I love the simplicity of it. This is a PSA 7. Not my favorite card. This corner down here is pretty rough. There's some chipping along the edges down here. But the centering's great. The color's great. Not in a hurry to upgrade it. It's a pop 174. There is 330 higher, and there is a massive PSA 8 population. 256 PSA 8s out there. So, there is lots and lots and lots of room to upgrade. This is one of the rare cards in my collection where I have either stayed flat or lost a little bit of money in the long run. So these auctions right now in PSA 7 are going for about $30. I can't believe I'm saying an NFL Hall of Fame rookie card, 1964 in a PSA 7 flat slab from a Green Bay Packers is going for around $30, but it is. 8s are going around $100. If you're in the market, I think picking this up in a PSA 8, despite the large population, I think that's a great buy. I'm just, like I said, buying quality, and I've said this time and time again, buying quality is the key to long-term gains and long-term growth. And this one, I didn't buy a ton of quality. So, I'm probably flat to a little down, which is crazy to say after, 10 or 15 years, depending on when I bought it. But I am super excited with these cards. I'm super excited to have another video out. We took a little hiatus there over the Christmas break so I could spend time with friends and family. But I have a full slate of videos coming out in the new year. We're excited to be here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I want you all to have an epic day. Thanks, everybody. Bye.